Our course title is known as Computer Graphics and Animation. Then our course code is CTE 435. So let's take a look of this computer graphics, which is the introduction. Computer graphics can be used in many disciplines. Like for instance, once we are referring to computer graphics, we are referring to process of using a system to creating images, while computer animation is the process of creating movement in this particular image. So charting, presentation, drawing, painting and designing image, processing and scientific visualization are some among them. Like for instance, with the help of computer graphics, we will be able to create a drawing that we can also design. We can also paint those design to our specific color we intended those images to be, and we can also present them with different presentation that we wish to inbuild on them, which is the process of implementing animation. Of the history of computer graphics, the phrase which is known as computer graphics was coined in 1960 by a person called William Fitter. Coined the term computer graphics in 1960. They were researchers at Boeing in Seattle, Washington. So according to him, he said that computer graphics (CG) is the use of computers to create images and art. It is a key technology in many fields, including digital, photography, video, games and film. So those industries, they really need this computer graphics. It is more relevant to individual. So the field of computer graphics developed with the emergence of computer graphics hardware. We are still on computer graphics, creation, manipulation and storage of geometric objects. The creation is the process of implementing the particular design you wish to provide. So manipulation is the process of editing and including colors that you wish to use in this particular design you are creating. And storage is a process whereby you will be able to save those items you are working on so that you can be able to retrieve them after everything. So geometric objects are shapes and figures that are defined by coordinates such as points, lines and polygon. Geometric object can be described using coordinates and so on. So modeling and their images rendering. So let's take a look of the next one, which is display those images on screens or hard copy devices. At this point, once you are done with your creation of design or cartoon and so on, you'll be able to have access to view them on your screen. If you wish to have a copy which is known as hard copy that you'll be able to hold as a paper, you can provide a printer to print it out. So image processing, others GUI, haptics, which is known as graphical user interface, which is the screen of the system, and display VR. Types of computer graphics: we have non-interactive computer graphics and interactive computer graphics. Regards to the first one, which is known as non-interactive computer graphics, it is passive. The word passive, the user does not have any gain of control over the image. So let me give an example with screensaver on a cell phone. Once you insert a screensaver on a phone, you won't be able to have access to manipulate that screensaver. It will be there stagnant. You can only see the screensaver and you can only have access to manipulate those icons that are on your screen, but not the screensaver particularly. So let's take a look of the second one, which is known as interactive computer graphics. So the interactive computer graphics, it is active. So the user has control over any gain of image or computer. It involves a two-way of communication between the computer and the user. Let me give a good example with this. Like for instance, if I wish to go to my gallery and select a picture that I will view and go back to different icon, you see that I've already have access to manipulate or to interact with the computer system without any delay. So that's the differences of non-interactive computer graphics and interactive. So the non-interactive computer graphic is passive, while the interactive computer graphics are active. As we said earlier, non-interactive computer graphics is known as passive. Computer graphics, the observer can no control over the image, where we give example with screensaver. Then familiarly examples of this type of computer graphics include the titles shown on TV and other forms of computer art. This another scenario, as we said earlier, that we can be able to use screensaver that individual will not have access to manipulate on it. We have another example here, which is the title shown on television will not be able to manipulate by individuals. Interactive computer graphics involves a two-way communication between computer and user, so which is known as graphical user interface. Individual will be able to have access to use the computer system. Then this helps him to signal his request to the computer. With the help of this interaction, you will now be able to input whatever you intended to input into the computer. Once you have provided your request, there is a registrar, which is known as fastest memory close to the CPU, will now sense whatever you input to the computer and provide it out for you. The computer, on receiving signal from the input device, can modify the displayed picture appropriately, in the sense that once you input any data, the device or the system will be able to modify whatever you intended to do, so that it will display to you automatically. We have paint programs. The images are stored as bitmaps and can easily be edited. Once you are using PaintMap, you'll be able to store your information or images in a form of bits, and you can easily manipulate them, which is the process of editing them. So it is a graphics program that enable you to draw pictures on the display screen. With the help of this Paint program, you'll be able to input vital data and information that will display on your screen, and you have access to manipulate them, so which is represented as bitmaps graphics. So it constructs drawgrams programs, uses vector graphics, object-oriented images, while scale better for you to have a quality designs. Illustration design programs, it supports more advanced features than Paint programs, as we said the previous time, that you'll be able to manipulate images and so on and other stuff when using Paint programs. But with the help of illustration design programs, it is advanced of this Paint program. You can also draw curved lines and other items attached to it, which Paint programs does not have those features. So the images are usually stored in vector-based formats. Illustration design programs are often called draw programs. It allows individuals to design. So let's take a look of this. This is animation. Animation software, it can be defined as simulation of movement created by displaying a series of pictures or frames. So a frames can be a design. So a pictures can be a normal picture, or a cartoon that individual will be able to create. So the process of this, with the help of animation, you can modify those images to move from one place to another. You can be able to even make them to communicate with individual. So a cartoon, a television is one example of animation. It and everyone knows that cartoon is just a cartoon. It's not a human being. It is an image or design created by individual, but they can be able to pass messages and do different programs.